So we're going to look at variance very quickly today. Remember that variance is all about how spread apart our data is. So the higher the variance, the more spread apart our data is, the larger the distance between it and the mean. So I'm going to skip a little bit of this, but does anyone know what that U stands for? U is our mean, so U represents mean, and X just represents our different points along the way. So our equation up there is saying that essentially our variance is all about the distance between every individual point and the mean. Just trust me on this, it boils down to this. I don't want to go through that today just because we're a little bit short on time. And the type of problems you'll get will involve this sort of table here. Now you need to remember that e to the x is equal to the sum of each value multiplied by the probability, not e to the x, that's expected value. That makes sense, correct? So the average score is just going to be that multiplied by that plus that multiplied by that, and so on and so forth. When we're asked to calculate variance, we need to identify a few things that we need to solve. Can anyone see one of those things that we will need? We're going to need these two values up here, correct? Can I calculate one of those pretty easily? Do I know how to calculate one of those? Maybe if I look at the second part of the recall. Can I calculate this? Can I calculate that, yes or no? We know how to do that. And then I've just got to get that value and square it. So the first thing I'm going to do is calculate my e to the x. I'll do this one over here. So e to the x, well not e to the x, I keep saying that. Ex equals 1 times 0.1 plus 2 times 0.25. You get the idea. We can do this now. And then someone can figure that in a calculator for me. And I'll race you. .5, 1.7, 2.45, 2.35. Is that right or not? I'm just... No, that's just the sum of each of... I've just gone through and done each one. So that's that. And then added them all up.
No, it has e and then x squared on its own and then ex squared.
Oh, this one?
So is it that?
Yeah, that's for this one. Yep. Have you got that? Am I right or wrong?
I got 3.3.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. 3.35?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't add the 1 at the end. That's why I'm wrong. Yep, 3.35. And then I need to square that value. That'll give you something near 10, but
It's 11.22.
there we are. 11 point... What is it?
22.
22. Thank you. So I've already found... I'll just put in the red box. I've found this value here. I need to find my other value. How do you propose that I find that? Because this is on your formula sheet. So it's just about understanding how can I, interpreting it and saying what can I do to fill in these values. What's this asking for?
A point squared.
Yeah, so if I have this equation here, what do you think is going to change? Will the p change? Will I have to do anything different about the p? Will the sum of change? So what's going to be different? Instead of being x, it's going to be x squared. So to do this, I'm going to set up, and this is what I would strongly advise you do, if you're ever given one of these. I'm going to add another column onto my table, another row onto my table, and it's going to be titled x squared. And all I do there is simply square each x value. So what's 1 squared? What's 2 squared? 3 squared? And now I do exactly the same thing, but instead of it being, I don't need to square the value, I'd put e x squared, I'll do this one in red, equals 1 times 0.1 plus 4 times 0.25 plus 9 times 0.3 what is it? 5. Nope, it's 25 times 0.15 plus 36. Are we happy with that or not? Does what I've done make sense? All I've done here is just, instead of the x values, I've now got my x squared values. Did you? I've made a mistake then, it's fine. It'll probably be in that one.
Yeah.
This is why you bring your calculator to your exams, kids. Would that be likely to come up in a tech free exam? Not very. It might, but not very. So now my variance is simply, I can finish off down here, is equal to 2.53. Clear? So what's the key message in this?
Wait, so we use that as the E, the top right there?
What do you mean?
E brackets X on.
No, just call that variance. I was just showing you where this equation came from. I debated which way I'd do it. So the variance of our data set is all about the distance between the mean and our individual data points, which can be represented with the function ex squared minus ex squared. We find ex first, we square it, we then represent that x squared as a new part of our table, and then we're doing the same thing but with our top column and our bottom column. And then from there, that gives us our second value, which will be larger than the first value. And we'll be left with a variance. Cool?